You'll want to head to the local thrift store to create these end-of-summer ideas with the help of your very own backyard. Here's a woodsy idea with the perfect fall vibes. I'm placing a jar on the table, then unrolling some twigs that are bound together with wire around the jar to size it. I'm cutting the wires on the twig roll, then twisting them closed. Some florist wire is being used to close the two twig roll ends, creating a tube. The jar is being filled with water, then placed inside the twig roll. Heading outdoors, I'm cutting a handful of tall grass that is starting to show pretty plumes, then placing them inside the jar. And I have the cutest woodsy vase displaying my most favorite grassy plant right in the center of my table. I'm picking some fresh flowers from my garden, then placing them inside a large book to dry. 2 weeks later, I'm now taking apart a picture frame to expose the inside backing. I'm arranging the flowers on the backing, then gently gluing the flower petals into place using Mod Podge. Once dry, I'm cutting around the edge of the backing panel so the flowers are flush. The glass is getting a good clean, then is being positioned on top of the flowers. I'm adding some thin twine to the picture frame hanger on the back. And I have a beautifully framed flower art piece that is sure to become a keepsake of all the flowers I grew. I'm placing a galvanized basket on top of some burlap, then cutting it to just over the size of the basket. For added interest, the edges of the burlap are getting intentionally frayed by pulling on the fibers. Once the burlap is lining the basket, I'm filling a small bowl with fresh blueberries and placing a water-filled jar into a metal bucket. The bucket and the bowl, along with a few ripe tomatoes, are being placed inside the basket. The final touch is adding a few freshly cut flowers to create a beautiful arrangement of fresh flowers and produce I can snack on when desired or gift to a friend. Here's a fun way to celebrate fall with a garden-themed twist. I'm dumping out a bag of mini stamps with all the letters and numbers intact. Reaching for some paper tags, I'm stamping the words fall onto the tag. The word harvest would be cute too. I'm now positioning a small wicker basket onto some burlap, then cutting it to size. After freeing the edges, the burlap is being placed inside the basket to line it. Selecting a tiny bucket of flowers, I'm placing some mini garden tools inside the bucket. The fall tag is being threaded with some twine, then tied to the basket handle. And I have the cutest garden-themed fall harvest basket that makes the perfect windowsill display or a cute centerpiece on my table.
Did you know you can create a beautiful gift basket for a housewarming or newly married couple with items from the thrift store? So the first thing I always do when I get home with stuff from the thrift store is I want to wash it. So I filled up my sink with some warm soapy water and I washed everything that I could, everything that could be submerged. The next thing that I did was, before I started filling the basket and personalizing it, I found a piece of ribbon from a sewing cabinet. This is from an old gift years ago, and I decided to weave it into the basket. This is just creating a more custom look for it. I ended up buying a hand towel and a box of tea to fill this basket out, and so the cream ribbon also went along with the color of the hand towel that I had chosen, and also went along with the coffee mugs with their red and their blue with the white in between, so I knew it would match. And then added in the spoons as well, crossing them over again for some visual interest, and then added the whisk between. I added in that box of tea because the box was so beautiful, so it added in really well. So overall, this gift basket was less than $20, and it's beautiful.
If you like the idea of storing things in unique and affordable ways, you'll want to head to the nearest thrift store or shop your own stash after you see these ideas. For a cohesive vibe, I'm selecting some like-minded metal pieces that can store things. Now I'm transferring an unorganized pile of office supplies into the metal pieces. The pens and writing supplies are going in a taller creamer so they stand up. And the smaller loose office supplies, such as paper clips, are being organized inside a vintage mini muffin tin. And you end up with a unique and productive office caddy that offers everything you need within an arm's reach. Next up, my paint studio that houses my boutique paint and a small amount of indoor tools is in desperate need of a cleanup. Landing a metal caddy at a thrift store, I'm first organizing the messy work table, creating groups of like-minded tools. This helps make sorting easy. Bringing the tools over to the caddy, I'm grouping all the wrenches and screwdrivers into the caddy sections, separating their sizes and types. For the smaller tools, I'm first selecting some containers that will fit inside the caddy spaces, such as a jar, antique measuring cup, and cardboard toilet paper rolls. Once in position, each container is being filled with drill bits and shorter screwdrivers separating the different types. And I am now the proud owner of a well-organized tool caddy that is a breeze to move around where desired. I'm now unwrapping a brand new spice organizer of glass jars sitting in a wooden stand. After washing each jar, I'm bringing over a screw caddy that is overflowing with mismatched screws and hooks and such. I'm now selecting the smallest like-minded screws and nails, organizing each type into separate jars. The clear glass jars make it so easy to see what they hold. I am now sorting out the larger screw caddy as well, so everything will be perfectly organized for my next build. Now that everything has its own organized home, I'm screwing the caps back onto the jars, then transferring the jars into the spice rack stand. And I have myself a super organized row of separated nails and screws I can move all together or as single jars as desired. Now on the work table, the tool organizer and organized screws look beautiful and so tidy even though every piece is on full display. The tools in the caddy can be selected individually or picked up all at once to cart to my next project. And now selecting smaller screws is a breeze. Each glass jar proudly displays what's inside while sitting right above the bulk of the screws. The screw jars can either be individually selected or placed inside the large caddy to carry the works to wherever I am needing them. Now I really can't wait to build something new. A row of white mugs sitting inside a wooden tray was a lucky find and is loaded with storage potential. While the works can be used as is, I'm going to style this with an antique vibe. After removing the cups from the tray, I'm setting the tray on wood planks and butcher paper, then reaching for Fusion's coal black paint. The tray is getting painted inside and out, requiring 2 coats. Once dry, a wooden yardstick is being measured against both the long sides of the tray, then is being cut to that size with a miter saw. I'm now placing the ruler into position on one side of the tray, then adding hot glue to the underside of the ruler. The ruler is being flipped over and attached to the tray sides. I'm now placing the cups back into the tray and organizing all the stencil and artist brushes into each of the cups according to size. And the result is a super cool looking paintbrush caddy with building charm thanks to the added wooden yardstick. I love how each cup easily houses different size stencil brushes, making them effortless to select either separately or by cup or by the entire tray. Now I will have everything I need within an arm's reach for each stencil project. I hope this inspires you to head to the thrift store to create some unique storage ideas of your own.